My great uncle Tom was drafted into the Vietnam War in 1969. And he was a helicopter pilot, and he had a crew and everything, and his job was to go all around the jungles of Vietnam and land, pick up any injured or even dead soldiers that were awaiting him, so that they could come and get them and go get aid somewhere else so that they could hopefully get better, even though a lot of them did not. During his time in Vietnam, his helicopter crew actually got shot down, and in the process of that, a fragment of the helicopter actually got lodged in his back, and he has some permanent back damage from that and PTSD from his time in war. And the Vietnam Veterans of America is a corporation. They were founded in 1978. It's a non-profit, so there's no government funding, no anything really from the government. That just helps veterans kind of get funding, get really anything you can give, use clothes, furniture, so like bed frames, really anything they could use the help, especially because many of them are older now and just need maybe some extra assistance than even when they did before. Kind of the reason that they get started is because when Vietnam War veterans came back home to America after the war, the American people were not having the war, what was happening with it, how they were fighting it, why they were fighting it, and so they got a lot of hate from pretty much everyone. There were riots in the streets, people were throwing rocks at anything they could find at people returning from war. And I do not think that's fair, especially because for people like my great uncle Tom who were drafted, they didn't have a choice. They really didn't. It was either go and fight or flee the country, and many people didn't want to do that because, you know, it's their country, it's their homeland, they want to fight for it. And I don't think it's fair that we did not protect the people that protected our country in our time of need. And I know that there's some people who still feel the same way now, but I think more and more people are kind of coming around to the idea of war and why we had to fight that one, and kind of just accepting people who fought in it more than before. So I highly recommend donating to this organization. My family does, because this war was really important to us. We have obviously family that fought in it, so it's super important. A few of their goals, besides from kind of getting donations from people, is they want to change public perception of Vietnam War vets, as I touched on before, and they would like to get better health care for veterans, because, as I said, a lot of them are getting older, they need more assistance now, more than ever. So your donation means even more than it ever did before as they get older and older. We, as I said, my family does donate. My Uncle Tom is really grateful for it because, you know, he was actually one of the lucky ones. He came home, he easily got a job, and, you know, was able to live his life with that job and retire at a good age and have some money saved up, but a lot of people are not as lucky as him. Many veterans have such bad PTSD they can't go to college, they can't get a job after that because they're so traumatized by their experience that they just don't really have the capacity to work or really do much of anything anymore. So your donation would really mean a lot. Thank you so much for listening to me today.